A very good morning to all my dear students of class 10. This is the third class on the chapter Two Stories About Flying. In the previous two classes, I have explained both the parts of the chapter to you. The first one is his first flight, and the second one is the black aeroplane. So, today we have planned to discuss the questions that are there in the book. So, I would request you all to sit with a pencil with your book, and after the discussion of the questions, I would request you all to write the question and answer in your copy. Okay, so this is a discussion of questions from the book, page number 36. I would tell you, student, the first question thinking about the text, and the fourth one and the fifth one, these three questions 1, 4 and 5 are related to your experiences in your life experiences. These are value based questions, not textual questions. So I will come to 1, 4 and 5 later. First I will discuss with you 2 and 3. Okay. So first I will discuss question number 2 and 3. Then I will discuss 1, 4 and 5. So question number 2. The sight of the food maddened him. What does this suggest? What compelled the young seagull to finally fly? Question number 2. The sight of the food maddened him. What does this suggest? What compelled the young seagull to finally fly? So the sight of the food maddened him. So sight of the food that his mother was having, which was just beside her leg, and she was taking the food, and the baby seagull was very, very, very hungry, and his hunger and his fatigue was intensified, and he wanted to have some food. He was longing to have some food, but his family wanted him to gather the courage in him which will enable him to have catch his own food. So the question here is, what does this suggest? So what will you answer? So this suggests that the baby seagull, the young seagull, was very hungry, and it was the hunger that ultimately compelled him to fly, that ultimately compelled him to overcome all his fear about flying, and all that compelled him to fly and catch his own food. Okay. So next part of the question is, what compelled the young seagull to finally fly? So the hunger ultimately compelled the young seagull to fly. So his hunger intensified when he saw that his mother was tearing a piece of fish that was lying just beside her, and he cried. He was begging to have that share of food from his mother. So he saw that his mother was flying towards him, but suddenly something stopped her. While she was flying with the food in her beak, she stopped midway. And seeing that, the baby seagull screamed with joy that mother is coming, and anticipation that he will have the share of his mother's food. But his mother did not come. When his mother came towards him with the food in his beak, she stopped. And he did not understand that why the mother is stopping there. And this thing maddened her. These things maddened him. Okay. And he wanted to have that food at any cost. So this situation helped him to overcome his fear, and he finally dived, and he finally flew and dived in order to have his food. So okay, understood. So this eagerness to have his food, this indomitable hunger and fatigue, which led him to overcome his fear and have his food. Okay. Next is they were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. Why did the seagull's mother threaten him, cajole him to fly? So, cajole means to persuade somebody who is reluctant to do something, to persuade that person is called cajoling. Okay, to coax, COAX, the other word for cajoling is coax, to coax somebody to achieve the thing, to overcome the fear, to make somebody willing to do something which he was unwilling to do. That is the cajoling. So why did the seagull's father and mother threaten him and cajole him to fly? Because seagull's parents, the parents and the other siblings, they wanted the baby seagull to overcome his fear. And they knew that the baby seagull is reluctant to fly due to his fear. So they wanted the baby seagull to be self-dependent. They wanted him to learn how to fly. So that is why the whole family left him alone and threatened and cajoled him to overcome his fear, to fly himself, to fly alone, to gather his own food. Okay, so this is the second, this is question number 3. Okay, so 2 and 3 are, these two are the textual question from the book. Now I will discuss question number 1, 4 and 5. So you have to relate the story of the seagull with the story of your life in different aspects. Sometimes those who learn how to swim, at first they cannot swim. They have to be persuaded to come out of the fear of water and try swimming. So there are many things. Some of you are having stage fright. Maybe you are very good at doing different performing arts like dance, singing, recitation and all. But you are having the stage fright. You have to overcome. First you need to overcome the inner the obstacles that is within us, the inner obstacles. Then only you are able to do that. So in respect to this story of the seagull, how can you relate it to your own life and the struggles that helped you to overcome the fear, or maybe it will help you to overcome many situations in future, in years to come down the line. Okay, so why was, question number 1, why was the young seagull afraid to fly? Why was the young seagull afraid to fly? The young seagull was afraid to fly because it was his first flight and he feared of falling and hurting himself. Okay. Next, do you think all young birds are afraid to make their first flight, or some birds more timid than others? Do you think a human baby also finds it a challenge to take its first steps? So, as I told you, you have to correlate both these things. Listen, the inner struggle that we are having to gather the courage, the story is different for different individual, whether it is human beings or animals, birds, whatever be that. So everybody's stories cannot be the same. So because each and everybody is different from the other person. So everybody's story is not same. Some take less, some face less obstacles in order to overcome the fear. Some takes more time to overcome the fear. Okay, so not all the birds are equally frightened. Maybe they are frightened for the first time. Some can overcome the lack of strength easily. Some takes more time. Okay, so you will write this question in your own way, and some take more time. So not everybody's story is same. There are different stories for different individuals. Everybody cannot gather courage easily. Some can gather courage very easily, overcome the fear. Some takes time. Okay, some take time. Next, question number 4. Have you ever had a similar experience where your parents encouraged you to do something that you were too scared to try? Discuss this in pairs or groups. Do not discuss, write it down. Is there any, this is a truly value-based question which you may have in 8 marks question. Okay, so write it, write it, because what experience you have, whether you have any such experience, or you could easily overcome that when your parents persuaded you. So write it in respect to your own experiences in your life. Question number 5. In case of a bird flying, it seems a natural act and a foregone conclusion that it should succeed. In the examples you have given in answer to the previous question, was your success guaranteed, or was it important for you to try regardless of a failure? So here also you have to write about your own experience. So in the case of a bird flying, it seems a natural act and a foregone conclusion that it should succeed. In the examples you have given in answer to the previous question, was your success guaranteed, or was it important for you to try regardless of a possibility of failure? Yes, one should not be afraid of the outcome. Maybe we will fail. Failure will teach us something. Failure will give us the courage to face challenges. So whatever be the situation, no matter whatever will be the outcome, we should try. We should try and we should never lose hope. So I hope all these 5 questions you can write. Okay, write them in your copy. Next is page number 40, where there are 5 questions from the second part of the story, that is the black aeroplane. Okay, the first is, I will take the risk. What is the risk? Why does the narrator take it? So what is the risk? When the storm was brewing, the narrator was keen to reach his home and spend his holiday with his family, and he was eager to spend his holiday with his family. He wanted to have the breakfast, the English breakfast with his family. So he decided to fly through the storm. Okay, so that was the risk that he had taken. So he took the risk even when there was possibility that it might cause some problem. So he took the risk. So he had to take the risk in order to reach England before the next morning, to enjoy his time with his family. So that his will, he wanted to reach there, gave him enough strength and courage to take the risk of flying in that tumultuous weather condition. Okay? Describe the narrator's experience as he flew the aeroplane into the storm. That I explained yesterday. What was his experience? How was his experience? So when he was flying, so he saw that neither his compass nor the other instruments were working. Nothing was working. So he was thinking that, and he was not even being able to contact with the traffic control. So he had no option left. He entered into the storm cloud, and his aeroplane started twisting. At that very condition, he found another aeroplane in the storm, and the pilot of that particular aeroplane made a gesture for him to follow, and he followed and safely landed. Okay, safely landed in his in the runway, and there was not a problem. So he had overcome the fear. He thought somebody is leading him. So who is that somebody? That somebody was not there, but it was his inner strength that helped him to reach London. Okay. Why does the narrator say, I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota? So he was not sorry. So he describes that his experience of flying in the storm, the old Dakota, that he was the D008, which was not a very sophisticated new flight. So he was not sorry because he's maybe he had possibility of having of facing many of facing a failure, or there was possibility of something, some disaster to happen, but he had overcome his fear, and with that lace fuel he was able to land at London. So he was not sorry because he could safely land the aircraft in the place where he wanted to land. Okay. Next is what made the woman in a control center look at the narrator strangely. Because the woman looked strangely at the narrator because the narrator was asking for the other aircraft pilot whom he wanted to thank. The woman was looking strangely because there was no other aeroplane flying at that particular time, and there was no other aeroplane to have flown is recorded in the radar. So the woman looked strangely that about whom the pilot of this old Dakota is talking. Who do you think helped the narrator to reach safely? Discuss this among yourselves and give reasons for your answer. This question, my dear students, as I discussed in the last part of yesterday's class, this is nothing but the inner strength which gave him, maybe it's not hallucination, it's you can say that it was creation of his mind. He was hallucinating to have somebody beside him, which that the gesture of that pilot helped him to reach safely. So it was nothing but his inner strength and desire. If you want something to achieve in your life, if you try, you can definitely do that. That inner strength, that willpower, forced him to overcome the situation, and it was nothing but a piece of his creation of his mind. You can say vaguely that hallucination. So because there was no other aeroplane flying at that time. So I have discussed all 5 questions from both the chapters, that is there at the end. I hope you can try and write. Next week you will be taught another 2 chapters, not by me, someone else will teach, and week after that maybe I will come with another chapter. Okay, so I hope you have understood both the chapters, both the parts of the story, this chapter, 2 stories about flying. If you face any problem, feel free to ask me, and if you face any problem in answering them, then also you can ask me. So I hope you have understood. If there is any problem, ask me. So bye for today.